Okay, so Peter and I are at a Taj Mahal with lots and lots of zones that go down all through these doorways and that doorway to two condensing boilers that shall not be named. And we're here to fix this leak. We have a new valve here, and the valve is replaceable with this motorized head that goes on it. You can use the manual like handle, or you can put the motorized one on it, but they use the same valve for both, and it's a mixing valve. So there's a temperature sensor up here, over here, that was clamped onto this pipe to read the temperature of the water coming in. And I already got this all disconnected, and Peter is draining from both sides because we don't know what position the valve was in. Just make sure it's empty. We got everything here isolated, so we have as little water as possible, and it's just a matter of all these unions, 4 unions, and taking the valve out. But you can see this one has 4 holes, threaded holes on it. These hold the motor in place so that the motor doesn't just spin the head around when it actuates. And I put a mark here just so I know which side was up. And the upside is the opposite of the numbers. So that's simple enough. And hopefully it's not too messy when we disconnect these unions. Okay, so Peter is gonna loosen up the top union, holding back with the Milwaukee cheater. And yeah, that's gonna be tight. And being painted over doesn't help.
And rusted.
Yeah. Do you want to grab like WD-40 then maybe? I got it. Okay, so we got WD-40 soaking on everything, and we'll see if we can break it. Yep, that's it. Nice. And to make life easier, you want to use this? No? Yeah, just leave it. And now that we broke the vacuum or the seal, the water is able to drain out from that hose port. Okay, that one's loosened up all the way. It's just lightly on there. And Peter's gonna break them all. And then we'll just let the water slowly drain out so we don't make a huge mess. Yep. And we could get this bucket set up there if you want. If you want to put this bucket under, it's a little bit better. I was a little worried when I was on the way here. So I remembered that he had such big piping here, and I was thinking maybe I got the size wrong. It was going to be 1.5 inches, but it's 1.25 inches. So that was nice. Okay, so we got everything out, and we're completely disassembling it, even taking off these unions, just so that we can retighten everything up and make sure it all stays nice and sealed, because I don't want to put something back together with a connection that we didn't make, and then it starts leaking, and then we have to take the whole thing back off again. So, okay, so we got everything disassembled, and you could see they used like that spool wick stuff that Mike likes, and for some reason it was really hard to take off the fittings. But we're gonna clean the threads up, and we're gonna do Teflon tape and pipe dope. Okay, so we did Teflon tape and pipe dope on everything. Peter's tightening up that last connection, and then we can get it into place. And we'll clean off the threads on the unions, clean off the surfaces of them, just to make sure everything's nice and smooth and tightens up nicely. Okay, so we got everything tightened up, nice and snug. This one was dripping, so we had to tighten it up a little more. And we're in everywhere with no leaks on any of our connections. So now I just slip this plastic piece on. It only goes on one way. And first we're gonna not do that.
What?
We're gonna leave this. And it goes up here anyway. But this piece, this is what. So it slides over that thing. You might have to move the valve because it only locks in one way. So these are facing what way? You know what you could do too is just this. But that also only goes in one way. So you're gonna have to keep twisting it from side to side till it goes in. There's only one flat spot. It's all the way deep in there. The flat spot is right there, so that means this has to go. Let's grab the knob. I need my hands for this. Okay, so, yep, goes in just like that. Now you just tighten this screw. And the Phillips tip on the Klein is actually broken, so be careful with it. Don't strip the screw out. No, it's a different size Phillips.
It won't fit that?
No, there's a number 1 and a number 2. This is a number 2. Or you could do the flathead. It's also got flat. Don't go crazy, but tight. And it's staying in place. So now there's the black cover, which is right there. No, it's the blue cover, sorry. So I would take off the knob and put the cover on. Only goes on one way. No. The hole. And then those get screwed in. Now that's actually the tiny Phillips, which I have right here. It shouldn't. Is it that tough to tighten? Okay, don't strip it. It's just holding the housing on. And then hopefully I have zip tie. So this box gets strapped up to here. What are you doing?
It's a piece of it fell, I think.
No, it's fine. Nothing fell out of that. That's only gonna go on one way too, which is gonna be that way. No, don't mess with any of it. It was all set up to how it's supposed to be.
Nut was loose. Where does this go, yeah?
Yeah, right there. And then a zip tie goes through that hole and through that hole. Tight, like really pull on it, because we want the sensor to really make contact with the pipe, and then you can snip off the extra. And then this pops up, right? Is that right? Yeah. It should go over like that. Okay, and I'm going to turn power on. All our valves are open. Okay, I'm going to turn power on, Peter. Okay, and we'll just monitor everything, make sure everything stays nice and dry. So everything's running now. We had to purge some zones of air. Tried to clean up the rust as much as possible, but it's gonna be there forever now. This is WD-40 from trying to clean the rust, but all of our connections are good. We're not dripping water or leaking from anywhere. And particularly from here, which is where it was leaking from beforehand. And everything's staying nice and dry here, so we're good to go.